right. Oh, is it that low latency? You guys already see me? How's it going? I just thought, well, I wanted to go live tonight, but I thought this is less pathetic if I do a cool Christmas recipe at the same time. So that's what we're going to do. I had a billion people ask me about the toffee thing that I mentioned last night on the stream, so I thought I already need to make Christmas gifts, and somebody on the stream cleverly suggested I make the toffee, and you guys wanted to know how to make the toffee, so I thought I'll just do it right now live. And I don't know if live cooking is the best option. If I burn something down, you guys are all going to see it in live. I don't know how many people do live cooking shows, but I think that's what we're going to do, so it should be fun. I probably should just start right into that, so people who tune in for the clickbait, it's not actually clickbait because I'm going to do it. Thing doesn't have to stay and watch me, babble and be pathetic. So, all right, so we're going to make this toffee recipe that I have. It's absolutely the easiest, coolest, amazingest toffee recipe ever. It's super, super, super simple, and you can't really mess it up. The real trick, I don't know if it's a trick. It's a great recipe. But the real thing that I really like is instead of a candy thermometer, I use this dude. Which this guy, anything you point it at, you hold the trigger and it tells you what the temperature is. Anywhere you go. There's me. I'm 91 degrees. So it's pretty fun. This is what's made it really simple. Because every single time I use a candy thermometer, the problem with the candy thermometer is you got the heat at the bottom of the pan, and depending on where you put the thermometer, it's really hot there or it's not as hot there, and it's messed up somewhere else in the thing. It's just not even. It makes a mess, and it's not easy to get it in a spot that's good. So it works really good. They're actually really cheap now. I got this a long time ago, but you can get them at Home Depot or even Walmart, I think, for $10 or something like that. They're inexpensive. So, all right. So I didn't have it like a card all printed out for you guys. I usually have it downloadable. Maybe I'll put a PDF with the actual recipe. I'll print it out, and maybe I'll attach it into the description of this video or something. But we're just going to kind of go as I do it here. So I'm going to add on a nice pot shot. Look at that. Oh, man, look at that professionalism. Okay, so what you need, 3 sticks of butter. You need 1/4 cup of water, 3 tablespoons of light corn syrup, and 2 cups of sugar. That's all you need. I like to put a little vanilla in it after the fact, but that's not even super necessary. And then chocolate chips, if you want chocolate on your toffee. Chocolate chips work good for making chocolate on the top. Look at that. Yeah, can you see the cam? Actually, I don't think you can see it. It's off the camera. It looks super professional. You can't tell. So, yeah, very cool. Hopefully this microphone doesn't get in the way. I'm on the way of getting a wireless mic that'll work for this. So, all right. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it on medium high, and we're just going to melt the butter. So you're just going to throw the butter in there, and you're going to wait till the butter's all melted. One of the miracles of this recipe is there's no stirring, although you stir the butter and you dissolve the sugar. But after you do that, there's no stirring. All the recipes I ever did for toffee all my life were very, very picky about you got to stir it exactly right, not too fast, not too slow, very constantly, nonstop. And this one you don't stir at all. Alrighty, there we go. You don't want the butter to brown, so you're just melting it. And I'm not really going to be seeing the chat too much right now. Is that salted or unsalted butter? That's a great question. It is salted, but I don't think it really matters. Salt makes everything better, so. Oh, now I'm not on the video, though. I kind of thought that I would be. You can just see my big old belly sitting there. If I just go like this, I can be on the video and stir. Look at that. I don't even have to look in the pot. I can look at the screen. That's weird. What's the machine called? That's a good question. Laser thermometer, probably. Laser temperature gun. I'd call it a laser thermometer. That's a great question. Looks like you only have 1 cup of sugar. Ah, no, I've got you fooled. This is a really, really big thing. So, 2 cups. Infrared thermometer. Well, see, somebody did some Googling. Thank you for that. Infrared thermometer. They're actually really good. You can actually, I used it a lot for when I was insulating the house. You can shoot them all over the house and see which walls are the coldest. And help you find drafts all around the doors and the windows and stuff. And you can find all kinds of cold spots in your house that you need to stuff full of insulation or spray foam or something. There's a million really cool uses for them. Oh, I see. Well, I stand corrected, Carol. Good job. Hey there, Katie. $14.99 on Amazon. See, there you go. They're super cool. I use it. There's infinite things I use them for. I actually use them for checking the temperature of computers when I'm working them on the heat sinks and see how efficient they are. So it works great. Cooking with Tom. I can put on a Martha Stewart impression while I'm doing it if you want. All right, so my butter's just about melted here. 3 sticks of butter. That's what we got. With 3 sticks of butter, we're melting it. We are not browning the butter, so we're just going to melt it, and as soon as it melts, we're going to throw in the sugar and the water. Well, no, just do the sugar. Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and throw the water in now. Water. I'm going to go ahead and put the corn syrup in, so that's a 1/4 cup of water again, and 3 tablespoons of corn syrup. Light corn syrup. And the corn syrup, the really funny thing about crystals copy whatever they have. You ever saw that Superman movie where he copies the kryptonite all over the place? They actually do that. So this corn syrup actually teaches this solution we're making how to crystallize correctly. I didn't check to see if I have my pastry brush. You're going to need a pastry brush for that reason as well. All right, so we're dissolved now. You ready? Here comes the magic. There you go, done. Now you just don't touch it anymore. You do, however, because of that crystal thing I was telling you about, that crystals copy each other, that's why you always brush the sides with water, because if sugar gets on the outside and crystals form, they will not be the kind of crystals we want. They will burn and get all weird, and you'll get grainy toffee. So that's why you baste the sides with water. And this is where we can just, I can sit here and talk, and we just let that go. I have my little recipe on a note on my thing. Let me make sure here. I know I said not stir, but my notes say to stir until it's boiling. So I want to just keep stirring until it's boiling because I follow my own notes. Yep, it's super duper duper easy, and toffee is really hard. I've made toffee probably 20 times in my life. And you know how many times it's come out perfect? Like 3, and it's all the last 3 times I did it. And it's all because of this infrared thermometer. As soon as I ditched the dumb candy thermometer, all my problems went away. Yes, gas stoves are very nice. I imagine with an electric stove, you have to be much more careful. Probably closer to medium heat instead of medium high is my guess. So we had a weird thing tonight. Well, a weird thing, kind of I don't know about drama, but activity tonight. Hannah woke up from her nap this afternoon, breathing very hard and labored, and it was kind of scary for the kids. So when Daddy got home, we took her to the doctor, and they took her oxygen level, and they said it was. I mean, she didn't want the dumb thing on her finger, but they said it was 85 or something like that, which is really low or whatever, I guess. And so then they transferred us to the ER because she was having trouble breathing, which was really scary. But when we got to the ER, her oxygen level was like 94, so it was fine. So thank you, Cal. That's very nice. Merry Christmas to you. Am I the real life Homer Simpson? I hope that's not what I'm known for. Pick another somebody else cooler or more distinguished. Maybe I don't know. Not Rick Sanchez isn't more distinguished. He's just smarter. Anyways, we took her in and they gave her some a breathing treatment with some steroids in it, and that calmed her down, and she's breathing better now. So anything ended up being fine, but we were in the ER for like a couple hours just sitting there. It was mind-racking, but she's doing okay now. She played her abala, which is her word for tablet, the whole time, or played rather Claudia's tablet. She's just been sick. We've all been sick. The thing that I had, she's had. All the kids have had. And she's had it for weeks. But for some reason today, it made her hard to breathe. She was fine. She was feeling fine. She was playing and doing all right. But you could tell she was having trouble. It was very labored breathing. So it was just a little scary. And I panic. I'm a panicker. So Andrea was not a panicker at all. She was the anti-panicker. And so she was a perfect balance for me. Whenever I panic, Andrea would tell me, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. We just got to do this and this. It'll be great. And so she's not around now. So now I just panic. So, all right, I think I'm done stirring this. This is already more no-stir toffee than I said it was going to be. So that's my magic recipe. Was it croup? Somebody, the doctor threw that word around, and I've heard that word before. They actually swabbed her for RSV. That's why we were there so long, because they had to wait for that to come back, which she didn't have RSV. And they listened to her lungs and said it didn't sound like pneumonia. They wanted to do a chest x-ray, and I didn't want her to have a chest x-ray. So I didn't want her to give her first dose of radiation. So he listened to her and said it didn't sound like it. We're just being over cautious, he said. So I said, well, let's not do that then. So. And afterwards, after she fell asleep, sitting there, and he listened again and said, yeah, I'm not worried about it. So, yeah, that's the thing about ER stuff. I'm a little worried about what it's going to cost, but we have the Samaritan Ministries that should cover it. And so, yeah, whatever. Oh, here we go. We're getting some boiling action going. So you don't touch it. Instead, you just basically use this dude. I got to do upside down to get you guys to be able to see it. We got 211, 210. Now I like to shine the light all over the pot. Just kind of keep an eye on it. You can tell by the color after the color starts changing, but you definitely don't touch it ever again. One of the reasons why you don't touch it is because of those crystals I was telling you about. The crystals form on the sides, and they teach the whole mixture how to be crappy crystals like the side of the pan. So you want to get the crystals off of there, and then don't touch it. And when you stir it, you're just making it all flop all over the place and fling all over the place. The idea is not to let it burn, but the bubbling alone keeps it from burning. What temp do you go to? Oh, good question. It's 300 degrees is the magic number. But if I'm being honest, it's never 300. The whole thing isn't 300, right? It's a big pot, and it's heat's in the middle, and the flames are erratic. The pot's off center, and it's different materials and the different viscosities inside. So you can't ever get the whole thing exactly right. So when I usually take it out, it's like 311 on some spots. It might be 295 on some spots. And so the cool thing about this is you can shine it all over the pot until you get a nice kind of feel about what the whole pot is at. And that works out really good, as opposed to a candy thermometer where you just jam it in one place and you just do something. And it's either not done enough. That's my experience, is it's not done enough. It say 300, but it is not 300. Do you pour it like a fudge? Yeah, you just pour it right in. I didn't show you that, but I've got a big cookie sheet with a piece of parchment paper. Parchment paper is a miracle. So parchment paper you can pour right on there. You don't have to worry about a mess or having to mess with it. So that's what we're going to pour it on. Yeah, Hannah has been sick. She's been sick for weeks with all of us. But today she when she was waking up from her nap, she was really not breathing very well. Well, it just was like really hard breathing, and so we took her in. But that's what one of the doctors said. Actually, it's right now it's 28 degrees outside. So the respiratory dude said, just put her some blankets on her and just take her outside in the cold air, and that'll be great for her. It's making some fun noises. Let me see if you can hear them. Oh, yeah. Thermometer again. It's an infrared thermometer. And you can change it, of course, from Celsius to, so it's 149 degrees Celsius. I forgot. We got a lot. I was surprised that I was looking at all kinds of statistics. I had nothing to do in the ER room, so I was looking at all of our statistics. We have quite a few people from Australia. And I was looking at kind of the revenue stuff, and they're like way up there. So go Australia. But anyways, yeah. So there's other people that use Celsius. So us dumb Americans with our dumb systems. Well, there you are, Bianca. See, exactly right. So the kids, actually, most of them aren't here. We had Taco Tuesday tonight, which ironically, I was not here because I was in the ER with Hannah. Judah and Asher was with me. So I took them with me. I would expect to just take her to the doctor and come home. I think be a half an hour. So we actually missed Taco Tuesday. It was here anyways. Although the house is really clean. So I guess they did have it. They told me they did. So they all went, almost all the kids went over to Aunt Bethany's house to have a sleepover. So they're over there spending the night, and then she'll take them to library since tomorrow is Wednesday. We did go to the doctor. We went to the doctor, and they transferred us to the ER. So that's what happened. So we went to the doctor, and they checked her oxygen level, and she was, get this off my finger. And so it said 85. I saw it say 85. She wrote on the paper 83. And they're like, oh, it's so low, we got to transfer to the ER. And I was like, oh, whatever. Instantly tripled or quadrupled the bill. So Chino, man, Chino's great. I used to live in Upland for a long time, so you could always smell when you went by Chino. It was great. Chino's awesome. Chino's a dairy farm, by the way. So that has a big dairy farm there. That's why you can smell Chino. I'm doing it's sorcery. It just worked out that the camera is right here, right off the frame, so it looks super pro, right? Oh, you went to Alta Loma High? Well, hey, look at that. Supposed to say something. I don't know what you say, but it's something. Go Braves. Yep, I graduated in 94 from Alta Loma. Is that a copper pot? Yes, it's a scan pan. That's great. Making any more Christmas treats? I don't know what's on the list. I think we have to make gingerbread men. But I got to go in the attic and find our gingerbread cookie cutters. I've greased parchment paper before, but no, this one isn't greased. I'm doing okay. I don't know. It's like my sadness morphs all over the place. I've been really sad since last week, and sometimes it's in the night. For a long time, it was when I was at bed at night, alone in my bed, and then lately, before that, after that, it was in the mornings when I'm alone doing chores and stuff. And then now it seems like it's mostly when I'm out during the day doing my computer jobs, and I'm going from customer to customer, and I'm all by myself, and it's being alone. Loneliness is it's the worst. But after I took Hannah in and got back, I took the boys out to eat, got them some food, and I've been feeling pretty good right now. Yeah, there were a lot of gingerbread cookie kits, but could you believe there was no gingerbread men kit? There was like gingerbread sleighs, gingerbread B-51 bombers, and gingerbread, houses, and everything gingerbread except for gingerbread men. Yeah, those ornaments messed me up. The Christmas ornaments Andrea did. She was always saving all those flowers. It messed me up doing the girls. The girls put up their Christmas tree and decorated. I have some footage for that. And the boys put up their Christmas tree. And they even have some ornaments that Andrea made them. Because whenever I would bring Andrea a dozen roses, I would take one rose out and I give it to Eden. And then when we had Sophia, one rose to Eden, one rose to Sophia, and then the rest to Andrea. And so then they would then have their own little ornaments. I didn't realize that Andrea was making those for them. So that kind of surprised me and made me cry. Yeah, I'm gonna be living alive a lot because I'm sad a lot, and it really sucks. Like I'm totally pretty good actually right now, but I was absolutely miserable the whole day. Just wish things would be back the way they were. All right, let's see what we got here, temperature-wise. 230, and I'm going to kind of just go all around there. 242, 239, 235, 231, 233. So, still got a little ways to go. No, you do not have to have a copper pot, but I would recommend a thicker pot. I think anything that's not, like those really thin pots are just no good for anything, not necessarily just toffee. But no, you definitely don't have to have a copper pot. Yeah, I'm glad the kids are sleeping over too, but I don't need a break. It's actually the loneliness which is so bad, and not having the kids here makes it worse. I like the beard, so yeah. Well, thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. Ingredients. So we got 3 sticks of butter in here, and we melt them. And when that's melted, right when the butter's melted, you don't want it to brown. You put in 2 cups of sugar, 1/4 cup of water, and 3 tablespoons of light corn syrup, and that's it. You kind of just stir it until it's all dissolved, and as soon as it starts to bubble at all, you take the spoon out and you never stir it again. And then just occasionally you use a pastry brush and brush the sides if you get any crystals that form. And it's kind of hard to see sometimes, but if you see any kind of, anything on the sides, any kind of crud, and that's because, again, crystals copy things. They copy each other. And if you have one crystal in there, in a pot that's becoming crystallized, the whole pot will copy that crystal. And that's why you seed it with that light corn syrup. Light corn syrup is the perfect consistency, perfect crystallization structure that we want for toffee. That's the only reason why that 3 tablespoons of corn syrup is in there. It's got plenty of sugar in it anyways. So that's how you learn that from Anne Reardon, how to cook that lady with dealing with chocolate. She's a genius. And so yeah, the crystals on the side, if you don't wash them down, they will mess up the structure of the whole pot and you get grainy toffee. Being alone is healthy and good. We need time to be alone, a good connection with self. Yeah. I've always been that way. I'm an INTJ if you're into Myers-Briggs. I love being alone. I love being alone. But I don't want to be alone. I want to be alone for a little while, and then I want to go back to my safe places. And I always loved my kids, but my ultimate safe place was Andrea. She loved me, and just being around her was just absolutely my grounding, my base. So now I'm just alone all the time, which sucks. Peanut brittle? No, I haven't, but I'll bet you it's similar. I bet you it'll be fun. It is. It'll start getting a lot darker. Salted. It's salted butter, but I don't think it makes much difference. And my husband is my safe place. Yeah, I totally understand. We'll have that safe place again. I really hope so. I know I keep saying that, and I sound pathetic, and I get a bunch of trolls telling me I'm an idiot, but I'm not going to lie. But I definitely want that. Fellow INTJ, also born in 76. Wow. Well, that's nice to meet you, Melanie. Yeah, I know everybody talks about having an animal, but honestly, it was so difficult having Knuckles. I love Knuckles to death, but the last several years was very hard to have him. He had accidents a lot and needed a lot of medicines, and you had to put him out, and it was wear, and he had to have baths every day. He had to have a bath. I didn't give him a bath every day, but he needed one every day because it helps his skin and help him to not itch. And we're just very kind of glad to be pet free for a little bit, but we definitely will redo the pet thing here at some point. INFJ, yep, that's what Andrea was. Yep, I know about the grief box. I totally subscribe to that. I think that's totally accurate. My ball is still just the same size it's always been. His husband passed away suddenly. They have 13 children. Or that'd be like a who was it? Brady Bunch scenario, wouldn't it? What's Toffee? It's a crystallized buttery. Score. You're at Score or Heath. That's Toffee candy bars.
I'm hungry.
There's some pizza.
That's the not good kind.
From Domino's?
Well, it's not good after it's frozen.
It's not been frozen. It's fresh from the store.
Cold.
It hasn't been cold. It just came from the store.
Yeah.
Right there. We just got it tonight. So we're getting there. Again, the magic temperature is 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 149 degrees Celsius. There you go, Thomas. Pizza. Is toffee hard? Yeah, it's very hard. I can't imagine you actually call it English toffee is what it usually goes by. So I'm assuming we ripped that from the English at some point. So yeah, do you see Scores anymore? Is Score a thing? I see Heath's for sale, but I don't ever see Scores for sale anymore.
I've heard of that, but I don't think I've seen it.
I know how you feel. My husband's one of those passed away in March. Oh man, to this day it's still hard. For Christmas without him is hard. That's too bad. It's an infrared thermometer. It's not for cooking. They would tell you this is not. It only gets the surface. So but you know, there's boiling and the bubbles come up and then it goes down. So there's little crevices, and so when you get really good, you can aim at the cracks and you can get the temperature really high. But the good thing about it is you can kind of go all over the surface and you can kind of take a mental average. Let's put it in Celsius for all the normal people in the world. So we're looking for 149 degrees Celsius. So people just tuning in, we started out with 3 sticks of butter melted, and then once the butter melts, you add in 2 cups of sugar, 1/4 cup of water, 3 tablespoons of light corn syrup. And that's it. You stir it until it starts to bubble, then you don't ever take the spoon out, you don't ever stir it again, and all you got to do is every now and then wash off the crystals off the side. With a pastry brush. You think this part isn't necessary, but it is. You will have toffee that tastes like it's got sand in it if you don't. It does smell pretty good so far. How do you find a personality type? There's a couple websites that'll do it. The best one that talks about the different the personality types, they do have a test. It's called 16 Personalities. That's just www.16personalities.com. And then, but the test I like better is the Human Metrics test. So it's at humanmetrics.com. Take a little test there and learn about it. Do you put nuts in it, chocolate? Sometimes you can chop up, half a cup of almonds real fine and add it in there. We've done that before, but lately we've just been doing it this way. Almonds are expensive. You can see it's starting to be kind of browny and caramely. That's when I got to look. I'm going to have it my way so I can see here. 273, 275, 274, 266, 276. So we're getting up there. Ooh, 295 on the edges. It makes you want to move the pot a little bit. My phone? In my pocket? Yeah, there's it's one of the tablets over there. Oh, it did sound like Talking Carl. I think it's one of the kids' notification things. It does look kind of done now, but it's not. And if you don't get all the way up to that, it's called the hard crack stage. If you don't get all the way up to that magic temperature, it will just be chewy and it'll rip your teeth out and it will not be enjoyable. It'll be a chore to eat and it won't be good. Would it work with vegan butter? What the heck is vegan butter? I'm awful sorry. I do not know. Yeah, I have tried the kind with saltines. I think that's cheating. It doesn't taste quite right, but it is pretty good. Is Butterfinger a toffee? No, I'm not sure what that kind of candy is called, but it's got kind of some of those qualities, I suppose, some of the layers. This is toffee. I got some done stuff we finished from the other night here. So this is toffee. Chocolate, real chocolate, by the way, gets that brownie stuff on it. So, you can't see. So it's very hard. It's awesome. One of the best batches I ever made, really. And the ingredients are pretty cheap. So if you mess up, you can try again. It is good. They're very good. But you got to get to that 300 degrees or 149 degrees Celsius. If you don't get there, it's starting to turn pretty brown. Let me see. 282. We're getting up there. Yeah, Heath bars are toffee. I'm going to put the tea. I don't know. I don't know what the tea is. Time the kids wake up in the morning. Whenever I wake them up, sadly. Asher's the only one who doesn't need somebody to wake him up. This keeps coming on, but what does it taste like? It tastes like a little piece of heaven with fairy dust on it. That's the only way I can describe it. I usually try to wake them up by the latest 9 o'clock. So, of course, when you have the advantage of homeschooling, you can make whatever schedule you want to make. So I try to wake them up by 9 at the latest. Thomas is the hardest to get up. Right, Thomas? By far. 289, 290, 98, 91, 92, 306, 310. So I'm kind of taking an average. I think I'm pretty happy with where we're almost there. This side's getting hotter than the other side. And if you go too far and too long, it will burn, and then the whole thing tastes terrible. But this is pretty good. This is about where I stop it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it. Take this off the heat. I'll just turn it off since you guys are there. And I like to just kind of stir in a little bit of vanilla, which makes the whole thing go bonkers for a minute. Okay, you don't want to scrape the bottom when you're stirring that because you will get burnt crud off the bottom. And then you just pour it out. And I like to let it sit for a minute or so. Jizz, too hard to eat without breaking braces? No, it's fine if you do it right. If you cook it good and you get to the 300 degrees, it will crumble. It won't be chewy. So if you take too long to eat it, or you keep it in your mouth too long and heat it up, or if you don't get to the right temperature right, it will be a little chewy, and then it might not be good for braces. But generally, it's all right. Yeah, it's on parchment paper. It makes it so much easier to clean up, and I can just pick it up later, and it's just great. This might be better than my other batch. I can kind of tell because the color, it's a little bit darker. I was a little braver. Hopefully I didn't burn it, but it doesn't look like I burned it. No, you don't have to cool it overnight. Actually, well, out here it says it's 27 degrees outside, so I'll go put it in a snowbank for 15 minutes and it'll be cool. After it's sat for about a minute, I like to throw, oh, that's not quite right yet. That's close enough. Throw some chocolate chips all over it. You know, I'm using up all the kids' chocolate chips for oatmeal. They're going to be mad at me tomorrow. I better make sure I save some. Sprinkle those on there and let them sit for a little bit until they melt. What's the temperature now? Good question. 210, 203, 183, 190. So still about 200 degrees sitting there. So don't touch it. Sticky stuff that's that hot on your hands, it will absolutely destroy you. Where's Chad tonight? No telling. Oh, it's still. You know what's happening here is it's on that burner that was so hot. I'm gonna cheat here. Swap the burners. Since this burner's underneath the camera. Yeah, there's no critter brave enough to eat something 200 degrees. I need some more chocolate chips. That's it for a while. Oh, the Star Wars gun. That's actually the secret to this recipe, because otherwise it's really hard to get to the right thing. It's called an infrared thermometer. Anything you point it at, I'm 91.5 degrees. Of course, that's just on the skin, so pretty fun. We made a bunch of sugar cookies with the kids. I do have. Did I get that on footage? Yeah, I think we did. So I got to edit that. The little ones watch the Christmas shows. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of old Christmas specials downloaded. So we watched the Smurfs Christmas, Stain Bears. I got people. No, Stain. Someone said. I think there's a conspiracy theory about that. Anyways, Berenstain Bears Christmas, and we watched Charlie Brown, and we watched the Looney Tunes Christmas special, and that's what we watched last night. The Grinch That Stole Christmas, and I feel like there's another one, but I can't recall what it is. Oh, the bread recipe? You mean the sub bread that I was on the last one? Yeah, I was really proud of that sub bread. That's actually the sub bread recipe, though, is what broke the KitchenAid. So probably if you got a KitchenAid, you probably need to knead it by hand. Although I doubled it, so I think the KitchenAid could have handled it if I hadn't doubled the recipe. It's a very stiff dough. Yeah, it's the thermometer will give back to itself a million times over. It's absolutely great. I don't know. I didn't know about the conspiracy. I just know that I spread Berenstain Bears, and I got like 3 comments telling me that's not Berenstain Bears, it's Berenstain Bears, and links to websites about the conspiracy theory. I did not read it. I just heard that there was one. Did you use the dough hook? Yes, I did. I've heard weird stuff about the Berenstain Bears before. I generally frown upon shows that make the dad an idiot. And that's kind of one of those shows that dad's so stupid the kids have got to come save them with their super genius kids and rescue the dad from his stupidity. I don't enjoy the Homer Simpson model. Although I enjoy watching The Simpsons, I don't enjoy them making fun of the father. That seems to happen a lot in shows. I always pronounce it Berenstain Bears too. That's what I always pronounced it. But believe me, I got people complained. All right, so I think we're probably melted enough. Yeah, there we go. That's right. So after it's melted, you can then just spread it out. There you go. 1 batch of toffee done. Yeah, the yeast rolls, the recipe I use for our breadsticks, if you just make them into balls, they make pretty good rolls. I generally don't like eating chocolate, but it looked like I wanted to try it. I still don't like it. Pretty much it. Just got to cool it now. I put it outside in a snowdrift here in a minute, but I've looked at the Mandela effect thing. I think I've watched the video. That when the guy has a ball that flies around and stuff. I think I've seen it. All right, I'm gonna turn off the. I'm gonna go over to the recliner. Get rid of that. I can unplug that camera. Let's just see how smoothly. Look at that. Perfect. So that's the toffee recipe. I kind of thought about doing another batch, but I'm tired of doing toffee right now. I gotta get the plug in for the laptop. Where's the battery up? Give me a sec. What size KitchenAid do you have? Well, we just got it. I broke the KitchenAid with that sub recipe that you saw me making the thing. That was the last recipe that thing ever did. And I didn't actually explain it in the video, but there's a point there where you see me and Asher kneading dough by hand. That's because the KitchenAid died in the middle of that. So even one thing of dough was too big to do. So I gave half of it to Asher and half to me. We both kneaded it by hand. But that was the one that broke it. So, but the one we have now is the commercial KitchenAid. It's an 8-quart. It's really big and great. Yep, it's this is a authentically plastic Christmas tree. I don't know who put that up there, but it's the one Andrea found. We like it because we have a very, 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 very small house, and it's extremely slim. It's great for our house there. You can see all our little presents there that I wrapped the other day. I don't know if you can see them, but they're all under there. Those big ones did not fit under there, obviously. Whoa, whoa. Oh yeah, KitchenAids can be refurbished. I've fixed them a million times. I've had them apart. I've got the official KitchenAid grease. I've got gears. I know how to refurbish them. I can totally fix it, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to at all. And I knew there was a commercial one out there, and I knew that we had some money from the GoFundMe money you guys gave us, and I thought that's a great purchase, and it made me feel good. It's something Andrea would have loved, and so I just said, forget it, and I bought it. So I could totally fix it if I wanted to, but I don't have time to even breathe. Time is so slim. If I'm not working, I'm cleaning or cooking dinner or playing with kids or... Yep, I finished. Thomas is joining us. Now I can't cry as much. I'm just kidding. Okay, here we go. I ordered a mixer, Thomas. Audio mixer. That'll enable us not only to use my wireless Bluetooth earbuds for mic, but I have more than one mic. So I can give you a mic, and I can have a mic. Hi, Thomas. How you doing?
10 mics.
I think it can only take 4 max, and only one wireless one. So, why are we slanted? You listen to the song, The Sound of Silence. No, I didn't. I wrote it down, but it's like the amount of time I have. It's like the last time I had a free thought was the last night I was talking to you guys. Yeah, last night. I haven't thought about something that wasn't something I had to do or get done again since then. What's your stance on climate? Oh, man. I don't think we should talk about that. Podcast. Someone else said that. Oh, God, I'm not even sure of a format or a place to distribute podcasts or how I would do it. YouTube podcast? That's just called a video.
There's a lot of podcast series on YouTube. A very large number.
So, like, just audio? Is that what you're saying? Like, that's what we're talking about, podcast? You just
do this video too, but it works audio.
There you go. This is a podcast.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I'm not going to look.
No. Does Thomas date already? Do you date already, Thomas? I guess he'd be willing to date, and he's the age to date. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good question to have. Do you ever listen to any podcasts? Occasionally, I listen to a certain political podcast that I will just not mention. Why does Santa send his elves to school? Because they need to learn their alphabets. What are your thoughts on tattoos? Nothing wrong with tattoos.
The whole channel dedicated to podcast.
Yeah, I know, but you can call it. I mean, to me, a podcast is an MP3 audio download, like on iTunes or something. No, that was original podcast.
Yeah, this is a new podcast.
That's just called a video.
No, a podcast is people talking about something, and that's the only thing.
You know when you're kneading in a KitchenAid, ever run past 2 or it'll happen again. I always use it on 2 or lower for dough. I don't ever need to go much beyond that. Oh, counting on episodes. Lots of love from the Cruz family. Well, thank you. That's a pretty generous super chat. Thank you. Yeah, that's what podcast is now. That is what it is. It's a talking thing, which, again, that's kind of what we're doing now.
Because they generally just change these titles to podcasts.
Is cannabis legal in Wyoming? No, I do not think that it is. No, in fact, it's not. I know it's not.
Cannabis.
Marijuana. You not know that?
Well, I don't know the street slang for weed.
Yeah, my boys aren't well versed in drugs. That's great. How little react to the trimming of the beard, Tom? They didn't even notice. I kind of do this a lot anyways. I let it grow out because mostly I was lazy. And Andrea liked it when I was growing out a little bit, so I would grow it out sometimes. And then I'd trim it back up. And it was getting pretty long. But that's what I wanted. I'm going to be really leery about painting anything. Paint has quite an emotional history for me. I used to joke that we were losing square footage because Andrea would painted so many layers in the house. She painted all the time. There's so many layers under this, I'd almost want to sand some just to show all the layers. But, yeah, I probably won't be painting unless God changes things and brings me somebody else who wants to paint, and then it'll be painted. Y'all have Disney Plus? Nope. You look younger with the trim beard. Yeah, I've heard that. That's called a super chat. And it gives money to us. YouTube takes, I think, 30% of it or something. But it's a way to give money to a channel. You buy them. Yeah, we don't. Like I said, my kids don't go to public school, so they what they know about those types of things is limited. Of course, they learn it anyways. It's not that they know what marijuana is. They just limited. Yeah, that's what I always thought of as a podcast. I'm born in Castleberry area, 50 years of my life. Wow. No Disney Plus, no Baby Yoda show. Nope. We don't have that right now. Maybe. Kind of thought about getting Netflix. We don't even have Netflix. We watch a lot on just our little computer here, YouTube a lot. We don't watch a lot of TV. We enjoy watching movies and stuff. And we still donate to your GoFundMe for Christmas. Yeah, it's still up. Actually, it hadn't been having any donations at all for a while. Then like today, I think it got a whole bunch. So I'm not sure what happened there. But, yep, it's still there. Like I said, I've kind of toyed with doing the Patreon thing. I'm a little worried about the YouTube situation next year. January 1st, that other thing goes into effect, and we'll see what actually happens. I'm thinking nothing's going to really happen to us, but today's vlog, I heard Andrea's voice. Was that her family? It would have had to have been. Probably Bethany. We have a Fire Stick. Don't use it all that often. We can watch a lot more on the on just our computer. Our TV has a computer hooked up to it, so. Did a good job on the video. Well, thank you. It was a little long that I went without doing a video like that, so I just kind of slammed the whole month worth of stuff, and I didn't quite video enough, and it was just random. And like Fire Stick says, an ease of use or Roku would be better. They're about the same, to be honest with you. I think Amazon, the Prime system, has got a lot to offer. So, and I don't think the actual Roku side of it offers much of anything. Apart from that, they have all the same kind of apps. So, Fire Stick's a little better in that regard. I'm a little disappointed with the technology of the speed of both of those. They're ridiculously pathetic computers, as they are very, very slow, and I don't enjoy them. They need to come up with a more powerful one. I'm sure smart TVs will be the future anyways. Well, thank you. The video was perfect. Great, just like the Andrea used to make. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, I kind of thought, I half thought about taking the GoFundMe down. I got all kinds of people all the time say, you take the GoFundMe down, you're greedy, stop having it up, you've been up there long enough. But you don't have, there's no reason to close it. It can be up as long as you want it to be up. You just be up if someone wants to donate money. And, it works great. You just break the toffee into pieces? Yes. If I was being really particular right now, when it gets about like this, maybe, you can grab like a spatula, a hard spatula, and just kind of depress and make indentations and lines. And so it makes little break points. And so you can break them apart into perfect little pieces. But I haven't done that, so. Yeah, I don't have it in this channel description, although maybe I should, but in a little while. Yeah, I've been telling the kids when we're gone that they can take video if they see fun stuff happening. And Asher's been doing that, and Judah sometimes. And yeah, they do like to cause trouble. They've caused me a lot of trouble lately. Can you show the candy? Yeah, I suppose. It's not quite ready yet, but it just looks like a chocolate slab right now. Put on in a minute. Yeah, that's why the Amazon Fire Stick's a little bit better, because of Prime. Yeah, I need to get more footage of. Oh, thank you, Leslie. That's very, very kind. People are being so generous today on Super Chats. It's nice you had your sister there. Yeah, it was nice. Who's been causing me trouble? I don't know who they are. If I knew. Yeah, the cooking was impromptu. It just worked out, though. That camera being off screen was really nice. Well, I'm planning on bagging the toffee up and giving it to people for Christmas. It hit me that I bought a bunch of stuff for my kids, but I haven't I haven't thought about giving anything to anybody else. So I need to give some to my mom and Andrea's sisters. They've done so many nice things for me, and I can't just not give them something. So toffee's a good way to do it. So sorry, Tom. I feel what you're feeling every time you talk on it. I cry right with you. My husband passed in 18. Oh, man. Show Andrea how crazy kids they can smile down on them. That sucks. I totally know what that's like. It sucks being sad. It absolutely sucks. Time goes so slow. Every day, every second of every day, I feel it pass. Every step I take, I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone. It's terrible. And I talk to Andrea, and then in my mind or out loud, and it just makes me cry and makes time go worse, and it's just terrible. I lost 24 pounds, only 106. Oh my goodness. That is really light. That's what Andrea was in high school. Just because she told me. Yeah, I know. It's very nice getting to talk to you guys. God will send you a helpmate. I hope he does. I feel guilty every time I say that because every time I say it, somebody sends me a nasty comment that it's too soon, blah, blah, blah. It's not like I got somebody now and I'm getting married right now. Obviously, I know there's a lot of things I have to do and easing them into my family and all that sort of a thing, but I know that's where my heart is. I know that's what Andrew would want me to do. I don't want Hannah to grow up with no mom. How does your faith impact your grief? Well, it holds me together, I think. Although, for being truthful, I get mad at God sometimes. And then I apologize. But I don't know what he's doing. Sometimes it's just so frustrating. And I try not to look at it that way, but Andrea was the most righteous woman that I knew on planet Earth, by far. And she's got to die at 40. Her mom got 10 more years than she did. Would you date for a short time or a longer time? I think it depends on what she would want, but I'm not in any rush of anything. So, yeah, I know. I can certainly tell you that if somebody showed up or said, hey, nice to meet you, and it was the woman of my dreams, I'm not going to, sorry, it's too soon, see you later. Certainly not going to do that. But I'm all for going slow and making things comfortable. I mean, it's not like there's people lining up. Who wants a guy who's got 9 kids already? Yep, I wish I could have all the answers too. Thought about Christian Mingle? Yep, I've been a hair away from setting it up a million times, but then I haven't. But might. I probably will at some point. It really is an unfair question, Tom. Oh, as far as why? I know it is. I know it is. But I still ask it sometimes. I think it's all right to ask God what he was doing. I think that's I think he knows. We see through a glass darkly, and he's the one that made the glass dark. He knows we don't see him perfectly. We don't understand his knowledge. We don't have his knowledge. He knows that we hurt, and he knows it's confusing. And I think that's why God called David a man after his own heart. You can read some of David's Psalms, and he yells at God. He's very angry at God. Your arrows are in me. My body drinks in your poison, and blah blah blah. And I get up, and you push me back down in the mud. I mean, that's all in the Psalms. And God called David a man after his own heart. I think we're all afraid to be mad at God because you're going to get lightning bolted or zapped or something, so to speak. And so I think David actually just said what he was feeling and didn't lie to anybody, even himself or God. And I think that's one of the reasons. And so I try to do that. That doesn't mean I stay mad at God or that I hate God. I absolutely do not. But I mean, I get mad sometimes. I haven't seen Chad in the last few. Does cancer run in Andrea's family? Well, I know it does now. I mean, her mom died we thought it was lung cancer. That's what it says on our death certificate. But I can guarantee you that it was breast cancer. I just watched an old video. Someone linked a video. I had a comment on it. And I clicked, and Andrea was talking about. I didn't even remember this. That they couldn't find a tumor, and they finally found a small tumor between her lungs, and said it was lung cancer. But I guarantee you it was breast cancer. And her aunt had breast cancer, and is a survivor of that. And so I think it absolutely runs in her family. And we just didn't know it. Yeah, I hear you, Quilter in the Woods. God has a perfect timing for everything. I know he does. But, I mean, if we're being honest here, sometimes it seems like his timing sucks. Even though I know it doesn't. I'm very grateful to have him. And he's gotten me through it all. And he gives me peace every now and then. I pray every day. And sometimes I ask for peace and he'll give it to me, and I'm very grateful. But I know we see imperfectly. We don't have perfect knowledge. We will someday. Maybe we will have more perfect knowledge than we have now. You had a business partner and that one died, no more bat an eye. That's absolutely true. Funny how that is. That's one of those things, though, that we have unspoken rules. Like, same thing. If you met somebody, you can't get married tomorrow, right? You can't do that. That's the same with Andrea. If you watch the video where me and Andrea talk about when we first met, and after we met, Andrea was putting on the pressure to get married right away. And you can hear her say, yeah, I was like, man, let's get the show on the road. She already knew I was going to marry you. And so she was not afraid. She was not afraid of anything. And again, I've always been one not to ignore social rules. So you'd think I would ignore them as it is, but I still struggle with them sometimes. You can take the kids to shop? No, but I'm planning on doing that. I don't know, maybe tomorrow even. I'll be in the office tomorrow. Maybe I can close a couple hours early. Take them all to Gillette and have them do their shopping. We need to do that. Does the Bible study help with your grief? Honestly, any live talking helps. It will make me feel better for the rest of the day, mostly. So after tonight, after talking with you guys, I'll probably feel pretty good till tomorrow. And then I'll start all over again. If I could figure out how to do it, I'd do one in the morning or in the middle of the day. I've almost done it in my car a couple times as I'm driving from job to job, just throwing my phone on and just decided to try to do one. But I haven't done it yet. But that's when I've been the saddest these days, is out on the jobs, being alone. It's so funny. So many times I go to a place. I go to the same jobs all the time. And so I go to this business, and when I walk out, I go to my car and I see the sights and I see the way the buildings are, and I have these feelings in my heart. Like, I can't wait to tell Andrea about today. And I still feel those feelings. It really sucks. Should Tom, someone is always available to chat. I know. It's just, I don't know. I feel like people are going to be sick of me doing lives all the time. it's okay for Hannah to grow without a mom around instead of traumatic stepmom. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Hannah's 18 months old. If she had a mom now, it wouldn't be a traumatic stepmom. That would be her mom. So she wouldn't know anything else. Obviously, if it's going to be somebody's going to be a traumatic stepmom, I wouldn't marry that person at all. So that's top of my list is my kids. I'm not going to get rid of anything Andrea owned, except for maybe I will some things, but not personal things or that kind of things. He took his son, he brought him home. Yeah, that's true. Are you sleeping better? Not really. If people are sick, there would be thousands of here. How many are on here?
801.
I can't tell. 801? I don't see how many. Oh, my title's too long to see it. 2012 was still a very sad days, so every wonderful days of sweet memories. 814. Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of... Yep, I have heard of the gene testing. We had the doctor, the liver doctor, who ended up treating us and telling me that it was breast cancer. It's so funny the way he told me. He's like, "Did anybody ever tell you that was breast cancer?" I'm like, "No." "Oh, I should probably tell you." It's like no one was going to tell me. But yeah, he told me that we should have my girls tested at some point. So probably will. Have you thought about writing things in a journal? I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Testing has become so advanced. Yeah, I don't know. The test wouldn't necessarily guarantee anything. What's your funniest memory of Andrea? I don't know if I can think about that. I don't want to think about it. It still hurts. To watch her old videos, it's super hard. I know boys can get it too, but it's much less likely. That doesn't mean they don't need to be tested. That's true, but polycystic kidney disease. That's too bad. So 99% accurate. Well, it just tells you if you have the marker. So you can still get breast cancer even without the markers. So if you have the marker, then you definitely have something you got to be concerned about. If you don't have the marker, it doesn't mean you're safe. So it's like you end up having to test anyways and do mammograms and all that sort of a thing. Yeah, exactly, Marissa. Did you ever try a church if your new wife thought it would be a good idea? Absolutely. If God brings me somebody, they will be part of my life, and they have every right to want things as like everybody. So definitely would talk about that. Some sort of compromise. I mostly lurk, but love watching the videos. Well, thanks for saying something. It's nice to see one of the lurkers. Most of the kids are spending the night at Aunt Bethany's house. They'd be in bed now anyways, either way. But how was the pizza, Thomas?
Yeah. Kind of old. Not old, but
Thomas,
too long.
what are you looking forward to for Christmas?
It to be over.
Really?
Yeah.
You know,
And then, like, it'll be my birthday, and then that'll be over. And then we'll be normal for a while.
you just want to get through the holidays? Not looking forward to it?
I'm not looking forward to it. It's
Yeah,
hectic,
just
but I'm looking
hectic.
forward to it.
Maybe she carried Liv, but never. I didn't miss what they're talking about. Came out a different time of day, you would reach other people. That's true. I don't know. I feel pathetic, honestly, every time I do a live. That's half the reason why I thought, I can do I can give the Toffee recipe. Then I won't be such a bump on a log just sitting here complaining on video. Someone wants you to wave to him, Thomas.
Oh, hi.
Anything Thomas wants to do for his birthday next month. All the days ordained written, but before one of them came to be. Yep, awesome verse. Absolutely love it. I talk about that verse all the time. Did Andrea have a will? No. I don't know. I feel pathetic. Tom, have you done anything new? Maybe you and the other children can go on a trip. I don't know. I just want to. It's kind of funny. The random lives have been. I was looking at our most viewed videos lately, and people seem to like them, which I do not understand. But that's great. And yeah, the kids did put up their tree. I do have some footage of that. So, did Andrea have life insurance? Yes, she did. It wasn't a lot, but it was good. We had more on me. We still have more on me, but I'm very grateful for it. You chose to be here. You're not pathetic. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm pathetic, so you're probably not going to convince me of that. But I am super grateful that you guys like to watch this or whatever. But I'm very lucky to have you guys, to be honest. If I didn't, it'd be a much different scenario. Yep, we have the tree over here, but I want to show off Thomas over this side. So it's either Thomas or the tree. Thomas won. It is nice to interact with you guys. It is. Does that make us pathetic? I don't know. I don't know. She'll need dresses for Hannah. Well, to be honest with you, there was a lot of people that were going to make dresses, and I've had some messages that people are still working on them, and I don't even know how many are out there. I don't even know what I got anymore. I've opened a lot of clothes and stuff, and I need to do another inventory and find out what we're missing and stuff, and reevaluate that stuff because it's like it didn't happen. I don't even know anymore. And I know we still got some coming. Shelly sent an awesome box still, Thomas. I keep we were going to open that, and I didn't. I'm going to open that. One of the Smith family, they really are very nice people. They sent us a big box. We'll be pathetic together then. Well, that's great. All you have any play, just put one foot in the other until time passes. That's the thing, is I'm just living. I'm just existing. I just wake up, do the laundry, go to work, come home, make dinner, clean the house, see the kids, get them into bed, start all over again. It's just, I don't have time to do anything. Not that I have anything fun I want to do anyways, but it's just, I just want to get on to whatever God's got for me. That's all I can think about. I'm incomplete. brother passed away. It's amazing how many people pass away all the time. Nobody talks about that stuff. You think of how often you see babies being born. People are dying at least that fast. And yet, you don't talk about that stuff. Tell us what Christmas gift you guys getting for Tom. Oh.
Oh, getting is.
Are you getting something?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have to get anything.
I was saying something. I wouldn't really say it.
Yeah. I'm planning on taking the kids to go shopping for their buddies that they drew names for and giving them some money to buy Daddy something. My little stocking over there is all pathetic. $8.14. Did you ever plan a meet and greet? Yeah, I would. You're pregnant with your first baby. That's wonderful. Congratulations. That's great news. Lost my best friend and my boyfriend's ex. I think you told me about that. That's terrible. 6 years ago, I wouldn't make it to see 5 years. I feel guilty because I reached out to Andrea and she prayed. Oh, that's wonderful. I wish Andrea's account wasn't memorialized. It makes me so mad whoever memorialized that. Facebook told me it was a family member. It wasn't any of my family members. Andrea had so many conversations with you guys that I wanted to see and read, and there's so many great memories that she saved them all. They're all on that stupid Facebook page that I can't get into now. And I had access to her account for a couple weeks. If I had known anything about it, I could have added myself as a legacy contact, and I'd be back into it. Oh well, it doesn't matter. No, I've tried and tried and tried and tried. They will not take it back. The only way they do it, I'd have to be fraudulent. They need a driver's license. They need some sort of a statement from somebody saying that they're alive and not dead. And I could do it, but I'd have to lie and be very dishonest and bad to get it done, and I'm not going to do that. But
did you at least get them to add you as a legacy contact?
No, they won't. They won't do anything. They're big fat turd burglars about it. I'm sure the family was. I don't know. I don't know who did it. I don't even know if it was family. Couldn't tell you. But apparently, to do it, you gotta have a scanned copy of an obituary or something, and you gotta have a newspaper article. Somebody went through a lot of trouble to get it memorialized, and they probably meant well. Maybe they were afraid I was gonna muck it up because I was posting stuff for her, videos and stuff, and maybe they were afraid I was gonna mess with it. But I wished I had the messages from people. I wish I had those messages. I have mine with her. You guys may have seen I posted. Somebody commented, and they call it necroing, an old post, resurrected it from the dead. Oh, that one about me and the goat, and it shocked me because Andrea commented, was talking to me, and that flipped me out when I saw her talking to me. Totally messed me up. Let's see how many teenagers we can get in the shot at the same time. If it's a legacy, it's in legacy, and they post, then there must be a legacy contact for them. Can a person deceased visit you? Nope, they can't. Despite anything anybody else tells you. Of course, I can't prove that, so that's just what I think. Hi, Asher and Judah. How are you guys?
Good. Normal. That is normal, man.
It's cold outside. Snow on the ground, but it's old snow, getting hard. Judah, when are you going to let us know what you're making as your project for YouTube?
Can I finish it?
You got a secret project going? I didn't know that. I haven't watched Judah's channel. I don't have time to do anything. All I have time to do is live.
I only really told one person that, and I guess they saw the reply on me. So.
Ah. Yeah, I am blessed to have these boys. Judah, you're the funny one. Is Asher going to take your toffee? Maybe. You okay, Asher?
Yeah.
Your sisters and mom watch the kids an hour or two. You could go on a walk by yourself, go yell in the woods. I go walk on occasionally. Going for walks, I've never went for walks before. I walked with Andrea. We were playing Pokemon Go a lot. We'd go on walks together. It was a lot of fun. But going on walks kind of helps. If I'm having a 100% bad day, it'll take me back to 90%. But I could do that. I mean, I could do that. Have you tried meditating? I mean, I do. I relax in ways like that. I've never done it quite like you're probably saying, but how can you get your foot on that upper lap? I'm pretty flexible. Who can touch their toe to their nose? Well, everybody should be able to do that. I could do that too for a long time. I might even still be able to do it, but that's completely inappropriate for me to do that on camera. I'm double jointed, and so my kids have pretty much got all my double jointedness. Show us candy. Love the video you took of Hannah in school. Thank you. That was fun. Oh, everybody's just catching up. That's funny. Yeah, we'll just break it into pieces later. Think any of your kids will move out of Wyoming? None of them want to. You guys, anyone move out of Wyoming?
No.
You hate it? He lies. Your finger doesn't break when you knock it back. Nope. Asher, are you super flexible? Yeah, I think all my kids have pretty much got my flexibility to some degree.
I've got some fat in the way right now.
Yeah, me too.
Judah basically doesn't have bones. It still has his muscles are still rock hard to count as bones.
So impressed by Thomas, Asher, and Jude. They are all different, but such nice young men. That's the truth. Love watching you eat Andrea's lasagna. Oh man, that sucked. It was good, but it sucked. Did you notice too? I don't know if you guys noticed, but it was exactly 1 year later. The day we opened that up, it just happened to be lasagna day on church because we have a rotation, and so we had that lasagna down there. We opened it up, and it was exactly 1 year later to the day that Andrea made that. And that made me really sad, but it was also good. How close are you to Colorado? We're just north of you. Facebook won't undo it. I've tried several times. Can Judah do that finger trick he's done on other lives? Oh, yeah. I always did it differently.
I agree with that song too.
The one I invented is you rotate your one hand clockwise and you do the other one counterclockwise.
I can't do that.
All the kids in my family can basically do it because I've taught them to do it. It's actually very hard to do. So one hand one way, the other hand the opposite way. You got to be able to wrap your mind around doing 2 different things at the same time. It's a lot of fun. Everybody's going to be doing it. I just did. I showed them that, and they all went, ew. Now we're all doing it too. And everybody around the world is rotating their hands, but it's almost everybody ends up doing this. They think, oh, I'm doing it. Look, that doesn't count. You got to be opposite directions.
But then you gotta switch in the middle.
Yeah, switch.
I can't do that.
I can do it for a little while.
I'm trying to do it.
Mine ended up going up and down. Yep, it's pretty fun. Pat your head, rub yourself. That one's always been easy. This one here is next level. There you go. I haven't met anybody that can do it, to be honest with you.
Do what?
This. Every time I show this to somebody, they can't do it. They'll come back like a year later and say, look, I can do it. They practice every day for God knows how long. But I haven't met a single person that I've showed that to that could do it.
I haven't actually really practiced it that much. I just can do it.
Sorcery. I can do it if I look away. Taco tongue, yeah. I don't know, call it that, but. Good night, Minnie Mouse. Thanks for staying up with us. I can't do it. I'm going to have to stop. I'm going to drive myself crazy trying to do it. I know. The people that it really bothers, they'll come back in a few days able to do it, but if they really stay at it. Anyone's tongue reach their nose? I decided about that. I saw a guy the other day. The guy at your Christmas party could do it. The guy was sitting across from us. He was a husband of the lady you had the present.
Oh, that's the father of my husband.
Oh. Oh, really?
I would have done that.
Yeah, oops. Anyways, he could do it. I realize you got to have a certain kind of face for that.
Can anybody lick your elbow? I think. You were allowed to get $50 for it.
You have to have like a real droopy nose.
Been out of the country. I've been to Juarez when I was a kid. My dad took me there. And I was apparently in Canada when I was a baby, but I don't think that counts.
Dang. Oh. Digging into my spine.
Weenus. Someone said weenus, Thomas.
Yes, it's spread to the public world.
I literally cannot do it. Yep, I know. It's maddening.
Right?
Can you roll your R's? Yep. R con R.
That's really hard.
That's what I saw a guy do on a news thing once. That's how he practiced. A Spanish guy.
I don't know if I can do it or not.
That was a Toffee looking. Probably pretty good.
Great.
Right. What are you doing? Is that supposed to be?
George Clooney.
George Clooney. What? That's what you want to say?
I don't know what that is. That just came to my head.
George Clooney. Wait, what?
How many people are still trying the counterwise clockwise swing with their arms? That's funny. If my kids were touching each other with their feet, it would be Armageddon. I'll bet.
Why?
R con R cigarro.
Probably because you'd be fighting with it.
See, I didn't get the whole thing. See, I didn't realize I only was copying what I heard. I didn't actually know the actual thing. So.
This is how you fight.
Did you ever consider expanding your business? I don't know, maybe. I'm not really sure how I could.
Hey, he's got back support. I got nothing.
Got myself to do it. No joke. Just focus on. I did it. What time is it there? It is 10:30. How's baby Hannah? She's in there asleep. I was surprised that everybody else knew what that R con R thing was. I'd never heard it before. I just saw a guy do it. Hey, that was impressive. I want to try to do that.
Erica Everton?
R con R.
What is that even from?
R is, it's Spanish.
I don't know what you're saying. Say it and not weird.
There's no way to not say it.
Say it without rolling your R's.
L.A.? I mean, I don't know how you...
I thought it sounded like
It's E-A-E. Anyways,
So
you forget it. You guys don't speak Spanish. I can't tell you.
Letters. Other letters.
That's a great idea. RE Facebook. I didn't see it. It's R con cigaro con aro rápido. Los caros en el. I didn't know the whole. I just saw a guy on a blooper saying that.
The Facebook idea was you creating a Facebook account, having and like getting everyone together to share their conversations and things around that.
Oh, I see.
Elf on the shelf is really messing up this.
Well, yeah, you could just copy and paste the whole thing and send it to me. Text me the message on Facebook.
I sucked the power out of this elf.
Yeah, go hide the elf.
The worst spot.
Italy also in Italian. Oh, from Italy. I'd like to go to Italy. That's the one place I'd like to go. Okay, toffee. Someone go get the toffee. Should go get me the toffee.
Where is it?
The pan is sitting on the stove.
Can we just make this coffee?
Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. That's a hard one. I always like unique. I always like unique New York. Unique New York I thought was really good. There it is. One sheet of toffee. Very nice. I'm not going to try it because I don't want to ruin it, but it's all ready to go.
Oh.
You know what bugs me is how many people out here say Italian.
Italian.
Papa Gary does. Italian. It's not Italy, so it's not Italian. Toffee's going to be Christmas gift stuff. I did it. Oh, that's awesome. After you master it, you can stump all the grandkids and kids you want, and then you'll be the hit of the party. Thomas, just sit already, someone said. Canada, we say roll up the rim. It's hard to say R when it's first. Roll up the rim. Toy boat is the other really hard tongue twister. Toy boat. Toy boat, yeah. Say it 5 times fast.
Toy boat.
Yeah. Soda or pop, Tom? Well,
Toy boat. I can do it. I can do the New York.
I think Rabbit's messing up a bit.
Soda or pop, Tom? I grew up calling it Coke. Everything was Coke in California, so. Out here they say pop, so that's what I now say also, so just I'm not weird, but. Freaking out about Christmas? Well, I don't blame you. 4 inches of snow on the ground in Missouri.
5 seconds. Nah, it was 2 minutes.
What if you wanted a Pepsi? Yeah. It's still a Coke. If I said, hey, come over to my house, we'll have some Cokes. Does that mean you have to have Coca-Cola? No. It doesn't mean that. That's it. Good night, Crochet.
Always in a very good way. Ow.
Everything is soda except Coke. Coke is its own category. Well, that's just how I was raised. I don't say it anymore. I've now been out here just about as long as I was in California. That's a weird thing to think. Me and Andrea used to always have this little thing in our head that I've been alive more. I've been alive and known her more than my life that I didn't know her. And I never got to it. That makes me really sad. I've been alive, I'm 43, and I was married to her 20 years, so, and I knew her a little bit, maybe 10 months, a few months before that, so I almost got to that day. I never did get to that day. What?
I want to know what me after that guy's favorite movie though.
What are you guys' favorite movies?
The Canada or the Check? The Check is pretty boring. It's just I like the meme.
Eternity is way longer. I know that's true. And see, I'm always the person that said that to other people. Like, if somebody else had lost somebody, I would be the best person for them. I think that's why I'm no good to myself.
No, it's a pizza.
Is that a donut, Asher? Nope, it's pizza.
I hate donuts.
Asher doesn't like donuts, yeah. Married 27 years, got married at 20, met him at 15. That's great.
Best friends forever. No, I mean, you're not listening. Yeah.
Yeah, our wind chimes around on the porch. It's getting kind of windy out there, I think. Older boys are a support to you. They are. They shouldn't be, though. I shouldn't make my boys support their dad. Taking the kids to California? Yep, several times. There's several videos on the channel about vacation to California.
One day I was mad at this guy and he did this.
It's funny how fast the road rage tendencies come back. I didn't have road rage, but a guy totally, like, we were in the left turn lane, I believe, and a guy turned left in front of us from the non-left turn lane, and I went like this. I didn't flip him off. I just threw my hand up like this, and Judah was scarred by it, and so he still talks about it all the time. Yeah, it does taste like a Heath bar. What would you say to someone who is scared to die? I would say, well, if you're a Christian, I would just tell you that, I mean, eternity is so much longer. So I would usually start like 10,000 years from this day. Do you think you'll worry about what happened here? So everybody's scared to die. That's the thing. Death is the unconquered, the one mystery we all have in common. There's a lot of people with near-death experiences, but I honestly, personally tend to discount a lot of those. I can't prove them wrong or right either way. But I think death is a one mystery that we're all scared of together. It's natural. Yeah, I know everybody mourns different. I don't know how to mourn. I just am alive, feeling miserable. So if that's mourning, I guess that's what I'm doing. But Dom, do you drink coffee? No. Not afraid to die. I look forward to it. See, and I can say that too. I look forward to going to heaven and, going on to the next life. Totally look forward to that. But if you're being honest with yourself, I mean, I personally think if you're being honest with yourself, you're not super excited to actually die. You're right. You're excited for what happens after.
What was that?
Yeah, I guess I am doing it now, but they're my best friends. I guess they are. Andrea was my best friend. Sal's my best friend. We've had other best friends. But I guess my kids are my best friends now. Yep, that would be the best way to die. Dying in your sleep. My family had a friend that passed Saturday, Tom, with a smile on his face. That's awesome. I'm not saying you can't do that. And I think once you're in it, I think all bets are off. I think when the death's at your door, I don't think you're probably actually that scared. I think we're more scared when we're not at death's door. We're waiting for that to come. So it's the pre-waiting that you're afraid. I think when you're in it, there's a lady I know, who had a home health agency, and she told me all kinds of good stories of people when they're about to die and really fun things that happened, the things they said, and neat.
Oh, did you realize you left the bagels in the toaster last night?
Oh, bagels are English muffins.
Your electric biscuits.
I didn't realize that. I forgot that I left them in there.
Your electric biscuits.
What do you think when a person says, I know I'm going to heaven? You know, Hebrews says we can approach the throne of grace with confidence. So I do think that you can be confident about those things if you know the blood of Jesus is covering you. That having been said, we also work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, and we fear the Lord. So I think it's a balancing act. So I wouldn't, the kind of person that says that, hopefully they're in the middle of a conversation that it warrants it, because if you just start coming out with that, they're probably more worried that they aren't doing it. Do you believe you go to heaven right away or on Judgment Day? Right away. We'll be getting into that again. That kind of goes into the whole preterist stuff and the Bible study thing we'll be talking about. But I do think we go right away. Well, hi, Phoenix Rising. How are you guys? Your best friend passed 3 years ago from cancer, and he made peace with that a few weeks before she died. Yep. That's generally right. Are you still eating pizza, Asher?
No. Yes.
Lies. Everybody that's what you're eating. It's pizza.
It's pineapple, pepperoni, bacon pizza.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Look at that.
No, it's not.
It's pepperoni pizza. Yeah.
We're getting a new pet. Yeah, not yet. We need to. I'm gonna be petless for a while.
What pet are we gonna get when we get a new pet? A flamingo.
A flamingo? A doe flamingo? I love that your children are your best friends. You have a wonderful family. I also know that they're my kids. So they're my friends, but I'm not going to treat them like a friend. I'm going to treat them like a dad. I think trying to be too close of friends with your kids instead of parenting them can be a bad trap.
Yeah, we have one bunny.
Still got one bunny, yep. Dream profession, Tom? I think I'm probably doing it. I mean, I don't think I can major in being an ice cream taster. But I got a pretty good job.
Yeah, what about a pet kangaroo?
Pet kangaroo.
And then you could kick me right in the...
Did you ever travel to Jerusalem? I'd like to, but I've never really traveled anywhere. Part of me wants to, part of me doesn't, to be honest with you.
Oh.
But I'd like to see the history. God told me it's not my time to send me back to Earth. Really? Did you just make costumes for films when he's older? Do you have a college degree, Tom? Yes, I got a bachelor's in information technology. Yes, Coke is Pepsi. That's right. More afraid of the feeling of death. I think that's right. It's fear of the unknown.
Don't fall off a cliff.
All fear is fear of the unknown. All of it. When you go on a roller coaster, why is it fun? It's fun because it's scary. Why is it scary? Because you think you might die.
That's why I never go on.
Right? If it was something that was 100% safe and you knew there was no chance, it's like, who wants to ride an elevator who's been a roller coaster fanatic? You don't get in an elevator and go, woo!
Unless you're staring out of the glass.
You don't. Because you know elevators are totally safe. You have to be afraid of, there has to be a chance of pain or suffering for it to be scary. Once you remove all the unknown and you totally know about something, it's not scary. So that's the reason why death will always kind of be scary, because we don't have knowledge of it. We can't chase that all the way out. Yeah, I like roller coasters. I can't do them too many times in a row, though. I get motion sickness. Although I'm interested now that I've had the Oculus Rift, because I got really bad motion sickness with my virtual reality headset, and now I've mastered it. I don't get sick at all in there anymore. So I wonder if it actually translated to other stuff.
I hate roller coasters. It's too fast.
Good night, Phoenix Rising. Thanks for hanging out with us. You ever go back and read your live messages? No. Should I? Sometimes I don't think so. I look at the comments when I see them.
And if we don't see your comment it 800 times in a row. What's that?
Discovered that a scream the same way, rather brushing up a seaweed or a shark. Yeah, that's just it. Exactly right. But if you knew that it was seaweed, and you knew all about seaweed and you were comfortable with it, it wouldn't be scary. It really is still fear of the unknown. Because if you spent your whole life in seaweed, wading in seaweed, you wouldn't be scared of it, because you would know all about it. When you're scared of seaweed, it's because you're still afraid there could be a bug in there, or it's the sliminess is, maybe there's some sort of bacteria or something. I'm pretty sure you can trace every fear back to fear of the unknown, if you think about it. Yes, Sandy Mom, we see your messages. I don't always read everybody's. It's hard to see. Why do you wear shoes in the house? Why not? Well, some places I guess are not that way. I know Japan, they don't do that at all. And I always wear shoes, although I have taken some off. There's no need to be rude about it. Who's being rude? Oh, about the shoes? I don't think he's being rude. I think he was just demonstrating that he has shoes.
They're pretty nice and clean. I only stepped in the mud a couple times. If you're talking to me.
Yeah, I think it was. Judah wasn't being rude. He was just showing that his feet are clean and that it's not a big deal. Do you ever see robots taking over the world? No. I think AI is a myth that will never be invented. AI can't exist.
Plus, the next will probably be invented before that happens to kill all the AI.
I do believe that science will pass something off someday and tell us that it's AI, because science needs that win. They need to invent life, and they know they can't invent real life, so they got to try to invent artificial life. I think you talk to any IT expert. If you're really serious and you understand your stuff, hey, you don't show them my eyes. There's no way that AI can actually exist. A computer cannot think.
No, I don't trust you. I've already said that I like 80 times.
But I do think that they will pass something off someday. They will tell us they've got it. And I think they will do such clever programming that we won't be able to tell the difference or prove it wrong anyways. So I do think that a day coming that they'll say AI is a thing, but I will not believe that it's actually a thing. There are a lot of things people call AIs now, but they're very clever programs. They only know the things that they know. You tell them to read those squiggly CAPTCHA things on when you're filling out forms online with the squiggly slanted words. They can't read those.
I'll put your blocks away. Oops. Just kidding. Judy will put your blocks away.
My dad died this year. Looked peaceful, taking his last breath. He had Alzheimer's. Didn't know anyone for almost 8 years. He was an atheist, as far as I know. Still pray for him. That's terrible. Alzheimer's is the worst. It's almost worse than death because they're not like where's Andrea? She's in heaven. Where was my grandma when she had Alzheimer's? She wasn't in heaven. She wasn't here. Or where was she at? She's in a prison or something. It's terrible.
Actually, just sign out my people to make that video proof.
Can't teach love to an inanimate object. Absolutely right. Or anything. You can't tell it to recognize a flower. You can only be told what has been taught. So there's lots of things called AIs today, and those are fun. And I'll refer to those as AIs, and like something that can an AI that can talk to you and have a conversation with you. But it only again goes back to its programming. Throw in some random number functions, and you have yourself an AI. But it's just clever programming. It's not really thinking. It's just doing what it's told.
Hey, Dad. Can I show this to the camera?
Sure. Shine the laser in the camera, Tom. There you go. All right. Yep, there's the laser.
The camera's 73.5 degrees.
I missed what Stidden family said. I missed it. Yeah, the pillows were great. I confiscated Hannah's pillow immediately. In fact, as soon as my mom on that video back behind the camera, as soon as I saw that pillow going to Hannah, I said, I am grabbing that the first second that I can. And I did. It's in my room because it's Andrea's nightgown. And it looks like her. It looks just like her. And Andrea's a big girl, and this pillow was wearing her nightgown, and that little section is Andrea there, and it was so special. And I was like, I'm not going to give that to Hannah and let her get chocolate all over it or whatever. So that's in my room.
Ooh, ow. Yeah, I think the blind stuff is later.
Why isn't that bright today?
I have to throw block at that.
Like it's like super dim. There's no way it's blind.
Ow, dang. I feel like the people.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
just thought-
I mean my editing.
You see everything through your people.
Okay, fine. Look. Chill. Close your eyelids. I want to show you how you can still
Fine.
see it.
I'll do it on my own.
You guys are being crazy.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Told you.
What are you trying to do? You see? So bright.
There's no way to gather. So when you look your eyes look to the back of your head
Yeah, I had to take it.
You're going to have to see you.
Stop. People are going to think we're being unsafe.
No, don't worry.
Red lasers aren't that bad. The green ones are the ones you got to watch out for. His eyes were closed the whole time,
You
so
can still see it. Anyways, blue lasers is the most dangerous. Because they could pop balloons that are so hot.
well, any laser that's a certain, if it's 5, what do they call them? Nanometers.
The actor's dead.
Anyways, blue is just a color. The green one is the most
It's like
powerful.
one that can catch stuff on fire, remember?
Yeah, but it's just dyed blue with a blue salt crystal. It's the power of the laser. Every time you have a green, they're almost always constant frequency, so they're very powerful. And those are the ones you see. Any colored laser, is more dangerous. Yeah.
You're okay.
Am I wrong, or did Andrea have a miscarriage before she got pregnant with Hannah? That's why he's taking herb to maintain her progesterone. I think she said that she did.
Oh, he got
I don't think I heard about it. I don't think she told me about it. Because again, I freak out about stuff, so I don't think she told me about it. I learned about it in the hospital And I think she had told other people, but
No, 3 times a big time. And he didn't even request.
yeah, I know Andrea's in heaven, and I know she's happy, and blah blah. I mean, I know all that. I know it's totally true. And see, again, I could have told. I'm usually the person where you are, said him foully. I know I'm where you are, and I'm usually saying that to people, and I know that's true. But I still have my thoughts about, I've heard a lot of different people talking about heaven. I don't know what it is. None of us know what it is, but I've heard a lot of interesting different theories that I think all are fun to talk about and think about. And I'm the first person to say, and I'm even one of the people that can say, I do believe Andrea can see us. I believe there's verses in the Bible to support that people who died can have knowledge of what's going on earth. Like in Revelation, it says, I saw the souls of those beheaded under the altar, those who were beheaded for the testimony about Jesus. And it says, how long, O Lord, righteous and true, until you judge the inhabitants of the earth and avenge our blood? And so those people who died were aware that they had not been avenged yet.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, and aware they had not been avenged yet. So they had knowledge of what was going on earth. And we also have that, we're crowned by a great cloud of witnesses, all the old, Abraham and all them. So they are witnessing things. It's the unknown for sure, and easier for me to say. Absolutely. It is. Exactly. Knowing all that doesn't help me miss the grief. Eventually it will, though. Exactly right. I want to find out what God wants, what has for me, what his plans for me are. That's all I need to know, that the sun will come out again someday. Doesn't it say the dead know nothing? That's absolutely true. But there's a reason. I'm going to get back into theology again. I'm going to say that was before something happened. So we will talk about that as we continue to go through the New Testament, when I get you more primed about the things about preterism and stuff that I was telling you about. That there was. I think that was true when it was said. And I think in context of what he's saying, he's talking about what's useful here under the sun right now. They have no knowledge of, but yeah, that verse is true when it was said. But we also, like I said, Revelation says that those people were aware that they had not been judged yet. How long will you make us wait? They're given robes and told to wait a little while longer. So they were aware that they had not yet been judged, and they wanted God to go ahead and do it. Also, if you remember at the Transfiguration, who did Jesus talk with? Moses and Elijah. And it says they discussed his departure, which he was about to bring fulfilled in Jerusalem. So they knew that he was about to depart. They knew that they were talking about when his airplane leaves, so to speak. She's in heaven. Do you want her here with you? That's true, I guess. It seems so much more complicated than that, but I know that's true. Doesn't feel like right now, though. Oh, yeah, exactly. Cookie dough. I just hate being alone. That's what it comes down to. I know Andrea's there, and I love her, and I'm glad that she's happy and watching. I want to make her proud. But I don't want to be alone. In and out for a second there. Sorry about that. Yep, Annabelle, exactly right. I'm going to try this. All right, we're going to try the toffee.
Yeah, try Toffee.
This piece, it's still wet. The chocolate's not totally hard yet. Here. It's good. No, I don't think it came off wrong. Not at all, said him family. Not in the slightest.
Wait, where's the microphone?
I'm not even sure what you're referring to.
I got two right by the microphone.
Yep. I know I'm not alone. I know that I'm not alone. In fact, I got you guys and I got people all over the place. So I've often referred to it as drowning in the ocean, or dying of thirst, drowning in the ocean. That's obvious. Dying of thirst in the ocean, right? If you're stranded on a raft in the middle of the ocean, you die of thirst, even though you're surrounded by the most water you can ever get. It's the most ironic way to die. It's that way here for me. I know I'm not alone, but it's not the same kind of alone, if that makes any sense. It's different. Second Corinthians 4:12. You got me curious now. 2 Corinthians, that's right before 2 Corinthians 4:12. I'm going to look it up.
No, this probably is better than the other one.
So then death is at work in us, but life is at work in you. We always carry around our body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be revealed in our body. For we who are alive are always being given over death for Jesus' sake, so that it may be revealed also in our mortal bodies. So then death is at work in us, but life is at work in you. That's just what he's saying there, that they have the death of Jesus in them, and they're proclaiming the death of Jesus, that death is giving them life. It's just a... You understand exactly what I'm saying? Good. I hope so. Obviously not anytime soon, but have you discussed, Andrea discussed remarriage and met one past? Yeah, we have actually. I think I've shared it a couple times, but and apparently we discussed it on a live dinner one night, and I've been trying to find that live dinner. Someone said they saw it, so I've been trying to find it. But yeah, Andrea always said that she would never remarry if I died, and the way the conversation always went is, I would say, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, and then she would say, no, you're going to get remarried fast. And I said, how do you know? I don't even know what I would do. She says, I know what you do. I know you. And I wasn't still sure, but I can tell you now that's what I'm going to try to do, if God is merciful enough to send me somebody. Because that's just who I am. She was totally right. She totally knew me. I can't. I'm not whole.
Yeah. Oh.
I wonder if Andrew can see the whole picture that you don't yet and just cheer you on. I wonder that all the time. I wonder what she does know. What is she aware of? I'm the person that can tell everybody why I do think that the people who have died before us can see and know what's going on. I give you 3 solid verses that seem to point to that. And yet, I don't know it to be true still. And so I still wonder, what if there's some weird views of heaven people have about being absorbed into a single giant conscious being, and maybe they're not conscious of themselves anymore, maybe they're not who they were, all these weird things. I think, what if one of those is true? And I don't know, but so I don't know what heaven's like, but I'm not meant to know what heaven's like. But thank you, Rachel. I hope so too.
It's lumpy. It's bumpy. For sale. $2.99.
Yeah, that someone said something the other night that about the 13th, but that wasn't the right one.
Why did you say that? Because we're talking about it.
The toffee is good. It is. I can tell you, it's good. The chocolate hasn't quite hardened enough yet.
I'm trying to stop down at my pupils.
Yeah, I read all kinds of articles. Someone had shared them with me that men tend to remarry very fast, and women are a lot of times much more satisfied to not sometimes. And if they do remarried, it's not usually as soon as men do. So
I gotta shield my eyes from active laser. Oh. I know. Are you still trying to eye my laser?
are you going to do a complicated wrap for anyone this year? No, I'm not. I kind of thought about it. Maybe in the future I'll do it, but I don't have time to do anything extracurricular, so to speak, in my life. I'm just happy if I can feed all the kids, keep them alive, and keep them happy, and provide for them and work and all those things.
Okay, we need to take everyone after. It's time to break my pupils.
Come on.
Dang, boy.
We're going to get all kinds of comments.
Hey, you're gonna give me
Thank you.
seizures or something.
Missy and Andrew's homemade gifts for the kids. The backpack she made and little skirts. Yeah, that's something I'll never be able to do. Even if I learned to sew, I won't be able to do that. She was so proud of those backpacks, but they took her a ridiculous amount of time to make. I certainly can do some homemade gifts. I can handle that, but there'd be more dad-style homemade gifts. I'm not sure what people are talking about right now. You're doing a great job. I'm sure a lot couldn't even be doing this well in this situation with one child. I don't know if that's true or not. It's not good for a man to be alone. Yep, I know about that one. That's certainly what I think about. I just try to be honest with you guys. I could sit here and lie about it and say, oh, it's too soon and stuff, but it's not how I feel at all. But again, middle-aged guy, 9 kids. I'm not going to move. I want to be here for my kids, and this is where, I mean, they go back 3 generations, 4 generations to the fact when they homesteaded here and settled this land. And that's how far back the family goes here. And so, I mean, I don't know. I have a pretty tall list of stuff, and finding somebody that even wants that is. Ark Encounter, yep. We have been to the Creation Museum. We actually have video, I think, on the channel somewhere of going to the Creation. Maybe we don't go to the Creation Museum, but we went there when it first opened, like right when it opened. So the Ark wasn't done. Depression, absolutely depression. Stress as other fathers, I'm not qualified yet. I don't think. I don't think I come close to filling Andrea's shoes. See, that's the thing, is you can't. Nobody can fill Andrea's shoes. I came to terms with that in the last couple of weeks, that I'm not going to find an Andrea, and I don't want to find an Andrea. It's not possible. Everybody's different. So I'm totally okay with that. Have you did the dollar store for the gift exchange yet? No, I kind of thought about doing that maybe tomorrow.
Trying to save a little Bitcoin. Oops. No.
It's hard because you have kids that are growing up and they will not wait to grow up. So you ask when you're ready to be married, you should feel okay about doing that. Dating will probably take time anyways. That's true. That's true. Did you ever consider a dating website? Yeah, I had that. There's that Christian Mingle. I've almost set up an account several times, but I haven't. I should. I think I mostly just feel guilty or wonder what people are going to say and worry about the trolls and stuff. But I've thought about it.
Why is my leg on here?
I'm not one for messing around. If I know what I'm going to do, then I try to go do it. I feel like people are repetitive on the questions every night, but you don't mind. Maybe it helps you. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. I think that people come and go, too. I'm the same people I hear all the time. So they don't maybe always get it. Don't worry about what people will say. I know. My wife could probably replace me. You think? That's a guy thing to say right there. Dating can be fun. It could be, but again, I don't know. I don't know if people want to date someone that has 9 kids. We'll see. I pray about it all the time. You guys should pray too. I would appreciate it. That's awesome, Kelly. Yeah, the older boys, we've talked about this before. We've been over it and discussed it and see what they think and stuff. What are you looking at? Staring at the toffee? You want another piece? Yeah.
Yeah, can we all have another piece?
Sure.
About this big?
Fine, I guess if you want. Yeah.
I'll make a few more batches of this anyways to give away for gifts. Here you go, Judah.
Yeah. This one is better than the other one.
It is. I got a little bit higher temperature. I got a little closer to 300 degrees.
Hold your microphone up to your mouth.
There's one out there who'll love all 9 of your kids. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's people that are willing, but of course there's more than just that. There has to be, I don't know, got to be someone in my age range, or give or take 7, 8 years, or I don't know. That's gonna be the max, I guess. Got to be attractive. Got to be attraction there, obviously. And I said I don't want to move, and I don't know. There's just so many things. Who knows? I sure hope so, Angela. You don't have to be paired up to be happy. I don't know. Maybe that's true, but I can't. I feel like, no. Stop trying to think through and worry about what God always has figured out. I know that to be. That's exactly right. That's kind of what I probably need to hear, Marissa. My brain doesn't stop planning for things. That's all I want to do is figure out my life. I knew what I wanted to do when I was 12, and yeah.
Everybody's saying it's ASMR when you chew that coffee.
Oh, really? God knows, I know that. I've been seeing a long time and perfectly happy. I hear that a lot. I think it's a lot of times more that, well, it's more likely that women can do that, I think. Especially like in the widow's case or widower's case. It's pretty common, in fact, for a widow, a lady who has a husband pass away to just be willing to just be alone, and they're totally happy with that. And I think it seems like guys are wired a little different. I know a single can be okay too, but I've already known that's the greatest thing in the whole world is being married. It's all I want. And it's the best part of my life. And it's all I can think about. Worth repeating. I didn't see it. I don't think he saw my post. I'm going back up to look at it. I said the other day, I thought of you. Grief is the last act of love we have to give those we loved. There's deep grief, there's deep love. That's absolutely true.
Just relax.
You guys.
Oh.
Oh, come, don't rush it. I know I don't want to rush it, but I do. But I know I can't. I just, if I knew it was going to have a happy ending at some point, I'd be totally fine. I could wait forever.
Ow.
But that's the part that I worry. What if not? And it'd be so bad. What are you guys doing over there?
I was making him not be able to get up there, so I made. And then I cracked his hand on accident. It's like back all the way down the middle.
Yep, goofball boys. He's exactly right.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you were sitting there. Oh. Oh. Oh.
You guys are goobers. You're going to break something.
Let me stand up. So annoying.
Lester has been over for several months, and the man also happened to be married to his wife. They both had gone jobs, same place, help fill the evenings. That's awesome. I love it. I'd love a story like that. But you'll know when it's time, even if others think it's too early. They will think it's too early.
No, you're not supposed to do that. Without my permission. Okay.
Trust us, it'll have a wonderful ending. I want to believe that. I need to believe that. Winner gets more. Winner gets more toffee. They want me to say winner gets more toffee.
What?
Whatever wrestling thing you guys are doing.
Is it? Oh, I'm just not letting you get up.
I see. Whoever, if you get up, you get the toffee. If you don't get up, he gets the toffee.
Wait, how long do I have to hold him
I don't know.
down?
Mexican or Italian food. Ooh, that's a tough one. I love both of those. That's kind of true, Gina. That's exactly right. You can find someone Claudia will be happy with.
Come on.
It's actually really funny because you guys see how Claudia is. All right, stop. You guys both win.
But he's not up.
There you go. More toffee coming your way. Ooh, look at this one. Big piece of toffee.
I deserve
You got to quit right now.
I can't even get up. So,
I'm gonna eat it.
no. That's so mean.
I technically won.
So you know how Claudia is. She hates everybody. It was me too. She hated me too. She didn't. She would come to Dad. No. Come to Dad. No. She only loved her mom. And then when she died, she 100% transferred that to me, and I became the guy she loved. It was weird and cool. I loved it. Did you film Asher's birthday celebration? Well, we filmed him open his presents, and then did we get any footage? I got a tiny bit of footage. Like halfway through eating pizza, Thomas is like, "You should record some footage." And I'm like, "Oh." Have you researched your ancestry? No. I feel like when I've tried to figure it out, I've hit strange blocks. And I almost feel like God doesn't want me to know. Like, you imagine the kind of guy that he's a normal dude, and then he learns that his great-great-grandfather was like a world-famous bagpiper. And then all of a sudden he like goes out and he buys a kilt and he buys like a $5,000 bagpipe set and becomes a bagpiper. And I don't want that to be me. Maybe that would be me. And I want to look forward. And I want to have a family that is what God wants me to be. And I don't want to resurrect some old stuff maybe. So I can't go back past my grandparents on my dad's side. And all the people that would know are dead. So, and I keep feeling like that's how it's supposed to be maybe. As a 35-year-old single mom of 5, I don't think the kids will be the hard part. we can handle the kids. I think finding someone nearby or that is willing to relocate will be. That may be. That may be. So I don't know.
After
Maybe never
my
happen.
fingers in my
Who
own
knows?
pants, I got chocolate all over my pants. What do you guys have to say about after wiping all the chocolate on my pants? Look at this.
You got chocolatey pants. You out of fuel already?
Oh, I think we need to remove which bottle. Remember what you're trying to do. Well, if I can. Are you sure it's not like a hole in that that's leaking all your gas out of your pocket?
You don't know anything about that.
Anything is possible with God. That's totally true. Thought I had it. You tired, Tom? Not more than normal. I'm mostly still fighting off being sad, I think. So, when a middle-aged man with lots of kids, that's not true. If she's a good woman, that's a plus. Plus, you're a good-looking man. I located from Ohio to Arkansas to be with my husband. That's a good-looking story. You ever thought of traveling? Yep. God's will be done. I know His will be done. I just hope His will is enjoyable. Marry in haste, repent at leisure. I have to think about that. Do a meet and greet, you might find that special someone. Yeah, maybe. Maybe no one will show up. Can you try to post a Toffee recipe? Yeah, I will. A lot of fake evil people out there wearing many masks. Take your time. You don't want to waste your time. I wouldn't rush. If I found somebody, I definitely wouldn't rush. I could date for years. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't want to find the person. I guess it depends on where the meet and greet would be.
It was in China with it though.
Thank you, Jesse. I hope so. I can't believe we're talking about this and no one's giving me a hard time. I'll probably get some comments, though. All the people that generally watch the lives are all hardcore people. Plus, this is 2 hours in. Nobody's going to watch this far. A wonderful dad, the person will show you the way. Take your time to heal. I'm a handsome man. I don't know if that's true, but that's very kind. How about getting a cat? Thought about it. The girls would love to get a cat.
That doesn't want a cat though.
No, maybe. Maybe.
You need to get one of those really big dogs. They're like the size of people.
No, we don't. Hope His will is enjoyable made me laugh. Yeah, I suppose. Looking to know you from these lives. That's true. Who knows what will come out of that? Absolutely. That's the one of the advantages that I think people, whoever I meet will probably know me way better than I know them. I just got on. That's true. You're still catching it live, though. After this is all over and people are watching it straight through, I don't know how people will get to this point. What was your cat's name? A throwback video? It was Cage. Kage, actually. It was Japanese Cage. Shadow. How do the kids feel about you dating? How do you feel about me dating, Judah?
I don't know.
Yeah, we kind of just talked about it and see how they thought about it. It's probably not fair to be springing it on them right now, but I see. Going out, meeting a girl. There's like 50 single women to one man. Is that true? Claudia arranged your marriage. Who do you think you would end up married to? Peppa Pig? Yeah, or whatever she was hungry for at the moment. Yeah, that's the funny thing. If you look at the, let me see if I can show you guys. The breakup, the dynamic breakup of the analytics. What percent, here's a good guess, what percent of our audience, of our subscribers are female, would you say? What percent? $98, 70, 70, 70, 98, 70, 97, 80, 70, 98. So, all right, so it's, well, I'll just show you. 92.2, 7.8% male. And probably half those males are women using their husband's account. But again, that goes back to the family stuff. Women love family stuff and blogs and raising kids, and that's what our channel is all about. And so that's wonderful. So yeah, I guess I got a fool to choose, but who knows? Who knows? Weird to say, but would there be a chance of you being with your ex-wife again? Not sure relationship is like, but I've heard of it happening before. I don't know. I haven't heard from her in years. She used to be on Facebook, but I don't think she's been on there for like 4 or 5 years. I don't even know what she's doing. How many of those women are single? That's true. That's a good point. Not a very large percentage, maybe. Or who knows? Oh my gosh. I can't even read that, but that's hilarious. Tracy's House of Chaos. That's hilarious. If you ask me why don't you date, I answer, why should I? I also love you too pretty to be alone. I was prettier when I was cheated on. That's terrible. But I totally understand. Well, thank you, Aussie. It's nice to see you. And that's about 18. Oh. Looks like you have to answer to your audience. You're the one living your life, not us. That's true. Melina, she's doing well. She just got a new ferret, I guess. And so that's exciting for her. My wife got me hooked on watching this, Tom. Oh, really? That's awesome. I never forget your name because that's a good name. And you always say good stuff. You got a solid, strong Christian upbringing. I always appreciate your talking. After my ex-husband's craziness, I have trust issues, no doubt. I think most women that get burned that way, I think that's just absolutely natural. And I think a woman a lot of times is more likely to just forget the whole thing than to try again. But who knows? Maybe no. I have the same name and didn't want you to make you sad, but now I feel like you're doing better. Andrea, oh, well, thank you. You can always post. Don't settle for someone who doesn't deserve you. Wow. Yeah. Oh, not talking to me.
Moaning house. Moaning house.
Let's do a YouTube bachelor edition sign up. There you go. Oh. You want to watch some Luffy?
I think it's a nice shower.
Oh, okay, go get your shower. Raising kids without a man around is scary. Father's more important than it seems to society wants us to believe. I think that's true. Goes for you too. Thank you. I don't think I'll have, I don't know. I'm not going to have many choices, is my guess. Wonderful people at meetups, friends that have become family. That's awesome. What would your mating call sound like? Oh my goodness. I don't know. I could totally make some jokes, but I'm not gonna. Still watching Naruto? Yes. Still watching Naruto. I'm a bit behind on. Well, I don't want to ruin it because we're almost finished. We watched the dub in our family. I watched them all already in the sub, but we're about to get to the end in the dub. Maybe someone here knows someone for you. Maybe. Dragon Ball Z is great. There's a lot of us single and understand. Good. That's true. Play time with the rabbit in the winter. I do feel sad sometimes. We don't see him as much as we should. We get him Timothy hay and give him food and water. Did Thomas go feed him tonight?
I don't know.
We're going to make sure that we give him some water. So there's a Catania. That's a good game. We have it here somewhere. Do you think two INTJs make a good couple? That'd be curious. I'm tempted to say no, but I'll bet you they would. They could both. Well, I think they probably would. The more I think about it. Any kids play D&D? No. Well, Thomas kind of plays it with Caden sometimes. I think he'd do well in the dating world when time comes. You think? I don't know. We'll see. This has already been a long one, but I don't mind. I like to talk. She needs to be very organized, the new lady. Well, maybe whoever it is going to be different than Andrea probably, so that's totally okay. But there's some built-in organization with our systems in place here that Andrea set up for us that are great. So. If you know zodiac signs, what's yours? I don't really believe in that sort of thing, but I'm a Scorpio, I guess. How is Hannah doing? I guess she's still asleep, but I think she's doing okay now. I think I've heard that we took her into the doctor today and actually got transferred to the emergency room, but she's doing okay.
The emergency room is not as emergency as I thought it was.
Grown and married, I'm only 45, so I don't know what God has planned for me. I only hope love comes soon for me and you. I totally understand. Only 45. Wow, see? He's just grown and married. Well, there you go. Oh. Would you allow the new woman to put her own spin on the home? Absolutely. I was on a dating site once, never get too many crazy guys on there. See, that's where I have a little bit of an advantage, is I got 9 kids. So I don't know how many crazies I'm going to attract with 9 kids. So I think it's worse for women. There's more crazy guys on there probably than crazy women. Well, I'm sure there are crazy women, but if somebody's interested in it, they know I have 9 kids, then they're probably already by definition not very crazy. You met a deaf person before? A random question. I know. Yeah, I have. I was on a dating site, but never again. Oh, I have heard that one. What are your thoughts on ever having more kids? Sorry, I had to ask. Well, it all depends on if I find somebody what they want. I'm totally open to the idea. It's probably probably anybody I find is going to have some kids of their own. So that's very possible that our family gets bigger if that happens. Hannah was breathing. She woke up from her nap today, very labored breathing. When I got home, I decided just to take her to the doctor, and we took her in, and put the little thing on her finger to measure her oxygen, and she was crying and flipping it around and everything, and it said 85, and so the lady wrote 83, but I saw it. It said 85. And then they said, oh my gosh, it's 85, and she's having trouble breathing. Just transfer to the ER. They took her to ER, and they got a real good one on her foot, and it was 93 or something like that, so it was fine. But they gave her a breathing treatment with some steroids, and she's breathing fine, and she's totally happy and good. So we brought her home, and she's okay. The Gnostic test. Can you explain what that's about? Yes, they keep wanting to make Jesus be married to somebody, but they're all old, they're all very recent things. So there's not old manuscripts that are that way. They're old, but they're not. They're like AD 300 or 400. They're not AD 0 or 10. So it's one of those things that's not anything to be concerned about. Right one will come along. If I was single, I'd put in my appreciation, but my hubby was a sweet teddy bear. Oh, that's very kind. I also have multiple sclerosis, so I figure it's better not to date. Oh, that's so sad. Well, I don't know if that's the way it should be or not, but I guess no one knows you better than you know. I decided no more heartbreaks. I'm sure that's terrible too. I'm 42. Let me say they're I'm 46 and never been married. It's possible. Sure enough. Should get a baby Yoda as a pet. I hear that's the thing to do. Speaking of Gnostic text, you ever heard of Gospel of Philip? I've heard of it. I tend to stay away from those things. Not that there's not some good stuff in there. Safer to be single, less pain. Been in love 20 years after my husband cheated on me and I'm 58. See, I hear that a lot. That happens a lot with women. They're like, they're okay to do that. And I can't. Shouldn't let the bad guys win. There's always someone out there for everyone. You're going to come out of this so much stronger. I think that's probably true at the end of the day. Making me late getting ready for work. Oh, sorry, Becky. If I was alone and a few years younger, I would snap you up in a heartbeat. Well, that's awful kind, Debbie. Married twice, both husbands died. No more for me. Tom, is it possible to believe both in climate change and the Bible? I believe both. Is that flawed? No, of course not. Of course not. But I mean, when you say, well, no, I don't think it's flawed. I think you can totally reconcile anything like that. I would be the opposite sort of a thing. But in the Bible about being ace, I guess I don't know what ace is. You're a strong person. You can handle being single. You don't need someone else to affirm your worth. I don't know. I kind of think I do. I wouldn't be pressured into it, but I mean, it's really what I want. Yeah, I do have a Facebook. You want to send me a message on there? You can. You just look for Tom Mills on Facebook. You'll see my little face with all my kids around me, just like you see down there now. But I don't necessarily friend everybody, so I wouldn't be guilt tripped into it. That's for sure. Man, Stidham family. That's asking for a
gigantic argument.
Do I have Instagram? I do have one on there, but I don't ever use it, so don't contact me there. For taller or shorter women, I don't care. I don't look at that sort of thing. Yeah, you can send me a message on Facebook, even if you're not a friend. I may or may not friend you because I'm almost running out of friends. Would you consider marrying somebody considerably younger than you, or one who has children of her own? Yeah, I'd consider both of those things. It all just depends on who it is, and honestly, it comes down to relationship with God is the most important thing. Followed by willing to my kids. This is better than the dating site, probably. What do you think your heritage is? Well, my name is Mills, so I'd probably come from England somewhere at some point. That's true, Debbie. Our house is like a party all the time. It's absolutely wonderful. I really like going to people's, like we go to like a church or something or a party and there's like 10 people there and we go there and we just double the population. It's fun. Everywhere we go, it's fun. You diminish your symptoms at all. For me, it is help to stop and enjoy the stars and the clouds. It makes me stop in my tracks. Absolutely. I love that. Looking up is one of the greatest ways to remember God is out there. What second language are your children studying, if any? We dabble in Greek. So, due date, be safe and let people know where you are so they can keep tabs on you. Oh, yeah, for sure. You say you gave Sophia some nail polish. We got some nail polish for... Oh, never mind. I'm not saying anything because there's kids here. Nothing. It's pretty late right now. That's why it's so quiet and calm. But all the kids are actually spending the night at Bethany's house anyways. What any traditions or schedule would you not want to change if you remarried? I think pretty much everything would be up for grabs, willing to be changed for a good reason. But there are some things we got in place, like the chore system and the privilege system, that really makes things a lot easier having a big family. So, but everything could be changed. They almost caught that. Judah says suspicious. I've heard the woman sets the atmosphere in the home with prayer. Andrea did a good job setting the atmosphere. Yes, she did. Yeah, we got nail polish for Judah.
What? Oh, that's... Oh, okay. I think I just...
You should live stream a date. Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny. It's also very possible that, you meet somebody that will not like YouTube at all. They won't want that sort of attention, and that's totally fine too. So, put God first. I do that. Yeah, that's possible. I talked about going to church. Homesteaders channel. Should look there, maybe. That would get a lot of views. Oh, I'm sure that would get a lot of views. I've talked about it with the kids somewhat. So, the older kids anyways. Princess Bubblegum, I do think he was talking to the 12. I think God can still do whatever the heck he wants. But I think there was a certain purpose. Their message, their works confirmed the message that Jesus was the Christ. That was the proof that what they're saying was true. So I do think it's different than it was then. But I still think God can do that if he wants to. Would you date a career woman? Yeah. I mean, I think I hadn't thought about it before, but I had thought about it recently, and that's how it's going to be a lot of times. Any woman that's my age who's available is probably single there herself, maybe having kids and having to support their family, and that's how it goes. That's okay. And we talk about what would happen with that, and willing to figure out whatever happens. Just marry whoever 100,000 subscriber.
If there was a guy.
That'd be funny. Would you date someone of a different religion but willing to change to Christian? Probably not. Would you date a foreigner? I don't care what nationality they are. Date someone with kids? Of course. I think most people my age are going to have kids already most of the time. Besides Claudia, which would be your children? I have the hardest time adjusting to a new wife. I would say, I don't know. I thought about Eden, but I think Eden would actually like it a lot at the end of the day. I think she'd maybe have some cold feet to begin with, but I think she'd really like it.
I think Azure has the best decorated bunk.
Would you date someone who had to wrap their head around preterism? Yeah, well, yeah, that's gonna be most people. So I can convince them later, or maybe they don't. I don't care. I don't believe the same thing I believe. What about an ex-Christian atheist who's looking for some light, asking for a friend? Ex-Christian atheist looking for some light. That's an interesting question. Walk with God is the most important thing. So, for me, how old are you? I'm 43. Talk to TLC about a widower with 9 kids. Yeah, that's a different angle, I'm sure. What is preterism? We'll get into that. Basically, I don't believe that there's end of the world in our future. I'll just say it that way. Getting questions have gotten old already. Have a good night, Tom. Good night, Karen. Sorry about that. Yeah, of course I would. Anne Marie, I don't care if they're the same eschatology as me, but I'm pretty sure I could convince them. Judah likes rhubarb dessert. Yes, he does. Rachel Day, are you married? I think she is married. Yeah, she is married. You did an amputee. I'm not looking at all. That's not important. That's the most important of what's. Yep. Yeah. If you do a search for Tom Mills End of the World, that's my video about predators you can learn about. I love all these would you date questions. Well, I never thought I'd be answering them so fast. I like it too. It's fun. But I thought people would be skewering me alive to talk about this stuff. I'll be interested to see the comments turn into here. I want to forget. It's like a would you rather game. Would you date someone that served time in prison? I guess that depends on the reason why they served time in prison. Date questions are weird. Yeah, I know. How do you handle being with someone with different beliefs? That seems to be extremely difficult. It sure could be. Send your applications. That's hilarious. Wow. Send your application. He's desperate to find a new mate. He's fishing for a new one since October. Well, Sandy, I don't know. Has that person said anything else? That sounds extremely trolly-lolly to me.
If he said close, it was like talk about tacos.
Yep, I'm with you, Angela. Relationship with the Lord is most important. Yes, I am still dealing with a lot of emotions. Oh, I don't think you're a troll, Princess Bubblegum. Yeah, I enjoy it. Yes. Thank you, Maria. That's what I want. I just want to do what God wants me to do, whatever that is. So, it's almost once I went downstairs. Well, we're already at midnight. I probably should just call this quits here pretty fast. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll go check on the rabbit here right now. Yeah, it was nice. I think probably wrap it up. Well, I'm glad that they've been helpful. All right, guys, I'm just going to call it quits. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you.